If you want to get faster around the Austrian Grand Prix circuit, you must watch this top 1% hot lap. 5th gear exiting the final corner to keep the speed up, DRS open, and run to the first corner. Brake immediately after the 100-meter board around 80 meters, start to shift down the gears and turn in at the 50-meter mark. 4th gear and off the brakes before the inside curb, cutting it as much as possible without invalidating. If you don't cut the inside curb enough, you risk bottoming out the car, or alternatively as done here, aim to hit the sausage curb with your right-hand side tyres, avoiding bottoming out and maintaining stability. On the throttle as you're on top of the curb, aim to the outside and even brushing the sausage curb if you wish. DRS down the long straight, but be sure to keep the car right then left to minimise track distance. Brake 100 meters in a straight line, shift down, feed in the steering later into the corner, around where the white line appears, down to 3rd gear, riding the red and white inside curb only, and off the brakes by the time you get there. On the throttle again slowly and start opening up the steering just before you reach the outside curb, start applying more power, then to the max when you leave the exit curb now you're on the track surface, or don't use the exit curb at all for traction over line. DRS as you go down the next straight, and something to mention about this circuit is that it can be quite bumpy, so ensure your inputs are smooth to have full control of the car. Sub to the channel, braking at 80 meters, down the gears and turn in just after the 50-meter board this time, and as you leave the curb start releasing the brakes, being super careful not to lock up the tyres as you travel downhill. 3rd or 4th gear as close to the inside curb as you dare and off the brakes fully when you brake away. On the gas, aiming to use up to the green patch on exit, maximising track usage, allowing the steering to be opened up at the earliest possible moment to enable the best throttle control. Full throttle when you reach the green patch, staying cautious in case of a loss of grip, but then bring the car immediately right to minimise track distance again and open up the next corner. Hold 7th gear, place the car over the entry curb and start turning in immediately as you pass the 50-meter board, shifting down, dabbing the brakes only for a short moment lightly as you come off the curb. 5th or 6th gear, then on the throttle as you reach the start of the inside curb, but never touching this curb. Something to know is that the inputs for this corner can be a lot smoother if you're using a wheel and pedals, but since this lap was completed by a pad player, the inputs are slightly more aggressive. Let the car wash wide on exit all the way up to track limits, then keep the car straight as you look to use the tarmac section on the right, opening up the corner more. Turn in as you reach the centre of this tarmac patch, maintaining 6th gear with a big lift and a touch of the brakes. Again, do not touch the inside curb, but use this early apex to set up turn 8 as you allow the car to drift to track limits again, coming off the red and white curb when it comes to an end. Reaching the final complex of corners now, shifting up to 8th momentarily, using all of the curb on entry again, but turning in just before the 50-meter board and braking very lightly as you leave the curb. Also shifting down to 6th gear to use engine braking, off the brakes and back on the power either at or just before you reach the inside curb, mounting up to as much as your right-hand tyres on the AstroTurf, and again wash wide right to track limits on the exit. Keep the car straight and brake just before the grey patch appears on your left, with either half force to avoid locking up downhill, or as done here, hard but quickly. Shifting to 5th gear, then off the brakes fully before you reach the inside curb, simply cutting it as hard as you can without invalidating the lap, and at the same time as getting on the power as soon as you can, maybe even before if you're brave enough, then full power as you leave the curb, driving yourself to the edge of the track. DRS and across the line to set a 1 minute 3.148, and that's how you get into the top 1% of drivers in the world. The setup for this video is on screen now, and if you want to tailor this for the race situation, increase the front and rear wing a few clicks to help improve cornering and consistency, keep the on and off differential the same, leave the suspension geometry as it is to improve lap time, stiffen the front suspension to the max and rear suspension a little for more performance, but soften the front and rear anti-roll bar slightly for a more stable car, then lower the ride height marginally since the suspension has been stiffened. Leave the brake pressure as it is, but increase the brake bias to help with stability and tyre wear. Bring all the tyre pressures all the way to the minimum, then keep increasing the pressures whilst you practice to make sure that you find your perfect window for the tyre temperatures. However, the pressures on your screen could also be a good starting point. Good luck.